Alex sat at the wedding reception. He downed 3 glasses of straight whiskey. He spoke to the silent man beside him. Alex asked if the bride was not beautiful. He then claimed she was his girlfriend. She had texted him that very morning. She said she was just attending a wedding. It turned out to be her own ceremony. The man in the suit gave him a look reserved for the dangerously unstable. A bitter laugh escaped Alex's throat. He took another swallow of burning liquor. The taste was harsh and unforgiving. It was worse than 3 years of hard labor. He worked to pay for her college education. As he reached for his 4th glass, the bride on the stage finally saw him. Her expression shifted from shock to panic. Alex fantasized she might abandon the groom. He imagined her running down the aisle to him. Instead, she simply bit her lip. Then, she averted her gaze completely. The wedding proceeded without interruption. They exchanged rings and professed their loyalty. The officiant's voice echoed in the hall. He asked the beautiful bride a question. Would she love and honor this man, in sickness and in health until death? Isabella's eyes scanned the crowd below. Her gaze met Alex's for a fleeting second. She looked away and spoke softly. She said that she would. Alex could not bear it any longer. He slammed his hand on the table and stood. Every single eye in the room turned to him. He raised his glass towards the stage. He offered a toast to the newlyweds. He wished them a swift new marriage, and white hairs together, an eternal bond, and a quick birth. A confused murmur spread through the room. A woman at his table whispered to her date. She wondered what the man's words meant. Her date smiled and sipped his soda. He explained the toast was quite simple. A swift marriage without the happiness. White hairs together without growing old. An eternal bond without a heart. And a quick birth without a child. The woman gasped at the sheer cruelty. Others at nearby tables overheard the meaning. They wondered what grudge this man held. To say such things on a joyous day. They concluded he was a rejected suitor. His love had clearly curdled into hatred. Isabella clung to her new husband's arm. She pointed a trembling finger at Alex. She told her husband she did not know him. Then she screamed for the hotel security. She claimed Alex was drunk and dangerous. Guards quickly moved in from the exits. They escorted him forcefully from the ballroom. As they pushed him through the doors, Alex cursed under his breath. He spun and landed a punch on a guard. It was the one who had kicked his leg. The other guards dragged him into an alley. They beat him until he could not move. He lay on the cold, damp pavement. The pain in his body was immense, but the pain in his heart was worse. He and Isabella were together for 4 years. He had supported her for 3 of them. When money was tight, he took any job. Waiter, delivery driver, construction work. He did anything that would earn $1. He believed they would finally have a life. Then her wealthy biological parents found her. They quickly arranged her marriage. A marriage to a man of equal status. For years of his life felt wasted. A light rain began to fall from the sky. Alex staggered to his feet and lit a cigarette. He pulled out his phone and made a call. Mike, he said, come help a brother out. Mike was a big shot at a local sports bar. He was loyal, respected, and well-connected. They met in a dimly lit booth at the bar. Alex explained the entire story over beers. Mike immediately called in some favors. A few vans full of his guys showed up. They all drove to Isabella's family estate. The wedding reception was surely over by now. Alex drank more whiskey in the van with Mike. A man drinks fastest when his spirit is broken. When he got out of the vehicle, he swayed. He cursed himself for his weakness. Mike led the crew onto the lavish property. Alex kicked open the heavy front door. He shouted for Isabella's family name. A lone housekeeper looked up in shock. She stared at the intimidating group of men. She quietly pointed towards the second floor. She said it was the first room on the left. Alex told Mike to wait downstairs with the men. He needed to speak with her alone. Mike agreed, flexing his knuckles. He told Alex to call if the husband was there. He would be happy to beat the man down. Alex nodded and went up the grand staircase. He pushed open the bedroom door. The room was dark, the curtains drawn tight. His temples throbbed with a sudden headache. He wondered why the room was so dark. A terrible thought crossed his mind. He walked quickly towards the large bed. He could see a figure beneath the sheets. It appeared to be a man's silhouette. In a blind rage, he tore the covers away. The man underneath was wearing nothing. The room was so dark from the thick curtains. He could not even make out the man's face. Alex demanded to know Isabella's location. He reached to grab the man's collar. But the man was only wearing boxer shorts. He recoiled from the awkward situation. The man calmly pulled the sheets back up. He sat up, looking strangely familiar. Alex's head spun from the alcohol. He was sure he had seen this man before. Then he remembered the groom on the stage. He assumed it was him, a familiar stranger. The man's voice was cold and steady. He asked Alex if he was looking for trouble. Alex screamed an obscenity at him. He lunged, pushing the man back onto the bed. He told the man Isabella was his girlfriend. She was with this man and had not broken up. The man on the bed simply grunted. He showed no anger or surprise. He pushed Alex away slightly. He reached under his pillow for cigarettes. He lit one, the flame briefly illuminating his face. He then offered a cigarette to Alex. Alex swore at him again. The man calmly interrupted his curse. He told Alex he had 10 seconds. 10 seconds to leave or never leave at all. Alex scowled, asking if it was a threat. Smoke swirled in the dimly lit room. It made his already blurry vision worse. The man flicked ash from his cigarette. He confirmed it was, in fact, a threat. Anger flared inside Alex again. The man began a slow countdown from 10. He stared directly into Alex's eyes. 9. Alex felt confused by this strange response. 8. 1. The man smiled and stubbed out his cigarette. He told Alex his time was up. Then he moved with impossible speed. He flipped their positions, pinning Alex down. Alex was completely bewildered. His head was swimming in a drunken haze. He asked what the man was doing. A deep voice answered from above him. You. Before Alex could process anything, his pants were being pulled down. The position made it impossible to fight back. He could not push or strike effectively. He instinctively clenched his muscles. He tried to reason with the stranger. He was Isabella's ex-boyfriend. The man should be with his new wife. The man above him chuckled softly. He offered a simple correction. He was not her husband. He was her brother. Her brother. Alex's mind went blank for 2 seconds. He recalled Isabella mentioning a brother she met after finding her family. His drunken brain finally made 2 connections. First, this was not the groom. This was the man from the reception. The man sitting right next to him. The man he had tried to talk to. That explained the unsettling familiarity. Second, he and Mike were complete fools. Isabella would be at her new home, not at her parents' estate. He tried to clear his head. He told the man he had the wrong person. He apologized for bursting into the room. He asked to be allowed to leave. No. The man behind him was a man of few words, but his actions were swift and decisive. The dark room smelled of sandalwood incense. He realized the man had been drinking too. His eyes had not been clear earlier. The man reminded Alex of his choice. He had been given a chance to walk away. He had chosen not to take it. But Alex never agreed to this alternative. Anger surged through him again. He screamed at the man, calling him a pervert. He warned that his friends were downstairs. Then pain shot through his body. The room remained dark, filled with incense. His curses eventually faded into whimpers. He gave up his futile resistance. Sorry. The man's voice was low and strained. He seemed to have regained some clarity. He confessed that he lost control. Alex could not find any words to say. He pulled up his pants, his body trembling. He wanted to scream, but nothing came out. He was here to confront his ex. Instead, this had happened. He felt utterly humiliated. He turned and fled the room. He wondered why Mike did nothing. He had been so loud upstairs. When he got downstairs, he found out why. Mike and his crew were smoking in the living room. The air was thick with a hazy fog. He could barely see Mike's face. Alex yelled at them to stop smoking. He asked why Mike did not come up. The second part of the question died on his lips. Mike extinguished his cigarette. He was clearly still drunk himself. He swayed as he walked over to Alex. He slung a heavy arm over his shoulders. Mike gave him a knowing, drunken smile. He said he heard everything. He took the guys downstairs on purpose. He did not want to interrupt them. He slapped Alex on the back. He asked why Alex was screaming so much. Alex pushed Mike's arm off and walked out. He told everyone it was time to leave. As their group exited the mansion, they nearly collided with a young woman. She had perfect makeup but looked nervous. Alex did not recognize her at all. She seemed startled by their large group. She shrank back, letting them pass. Alex glanced back one more time. He saw the woman tiptoe into the house. She went directly to that man's room. What a monster, he thought. That evening, his phone rang. It was Isabella. He hesitated before answering the call. He worried she knew about her brother. He took a breath and accepted the call. Isabella's sobbing filled his ear. She said she was downstairs from his apartment. She begged to see him and talk. His anger immediately returned. He hung up without saying a single word. He had wanted a confrontation earlier, but now it all felt pointless. Their years together meant nothing now. The smartest move was to walk away, but her calls were relentless. He would hang up and she would call back. He looked out his window. Rain was falling steadily now. Isabella was huddled under a streetlight. She had no umbrella, a pitiful sight. A part of him still felt for her. His apartment was on the second floor. He opened the window and tossed an umbrella down. Isabella looked up, surprised and hopeful. "Alex, go away." He slammed the window shut. Ultimately, he went downstairs anyway. He realized his dog was missing. "Momo," he called out, holding his own umbrella. Isabella stepped in front of him. She told him Momo was with her. She bit her lip, her voice thick with tears. She said she would return the dog. He just had to talk with her first. He took a deep breath to control his anger. He held the umbrella over them and said, "Speak." Isabella cried as she explained herself. She said she had no other choice. The marriage was just a business arrangement. It was a way to secure her family position. She did not tell him to protect him. She thought he could not handle the truth. She begged him for his forgiveness. She still wanted to be with him. But Alex was barely listening to her words. His mind was consumed by one thing: her brother. The events of that afternoon were shocking. They had completely upended his world. He was still trying to process it all. Isabella continued her tearful monologue. He finally interrupted her. He asked for her brother's name. Isabella paused, confused by the question. She answered that his name was Julian. Julian, Alex repeated silently in his mind. He hated the sound of it. Isabella asked why he wanted to know. Her eyes were red and full of suspicion. Alex said it was nothing. He touched his nose, a nervous habit. He claimed he was just curious. Isabella did not seem to believe him, but she did not press the issue. She asked if he still trusted her. "Does he need to trust you?" A man's voice cut through the sound of rain. Alex's body went rigid. He would never forget that voice. Isabella looked past him, confused. "Brother?" she asked. Alex turned around slowly. The man wore dark, casual clothes. His eyes were cold and distant. He was a few inches taller than Alex. Seeing his face made Alex's body ache. Julian walked to Alex's side. He asked for Alex's name. Alex answered, still in a daze. Julian nodded slightly. He casually draped an arm over Alex's shoulder. He looked directly at his sister. "This is Alex, your sister-in-law." Alex was momentarily stunned. He protested that it was not right. He should be the brother-in-law, not the wife. He glanced at Julian. The man had a faint, suggestive smile. Isabella stared at Julian's hand on Alex's shoulder. Her sad expression slowly turned to rage. She felt a deep sense of betrayal. She swung her hand to slap Alex. She screamed that he was a bastard, but Julian caught her wrist. He pushed her hand away. His voice was cold and dismissive. He told her to be a proper wife. He warned her to stop harassing Alex. His unspoken threat hung in the air. Isabella burst into tears again. She glared at Alex with pure hatred. She said she felt sorry for him, but now she saw he was with her brother. She accused him of doing anything for money. She called him disgusting. She threw her umbrella down and ran away. Alex felt a surge of anger. The woman was an expert at twisting facts. If he was greedy, he would not have worked for her. Now she could feel morally superior. She could be the perfect wife without guilt. And she still had his dog. His mind was a mess. He ran a hand through his hair and went upstairs. He heard footsteps following him. He turned to see Julian. He asked the man what he wanted. Julian said they needed to talk. He wanted to come upstairs. Alex tried to shut the door on him, but Julian was too quick. He blocked the door with his hand. Alex quickly released it, afraid of hurting him. Julian slipped inside the small apartment. He scanned the room with disapproval. He commented on its small size. Alex thought he meant something else. He looked down at his own body. Julian chuckled at his reaction. He clarified he meant the apartment. He offered to buy Alex a new place, a standalone house downtown, 500,000 square feet. He would put it in Alex's name. Julian sat on the worn-out sofa. He looked at Alex and apologized. He explained what happened that day. Someone had drugged his drink at the wedding. He was struggling to maintain control. Alex had shown up at the worst time. He was a temptation Julian could not resist. Alex listened, his mind racing. He remembered the woman at the mansion. It all started to make sense now. Someone was trying to trap the wealthy heir, and Alex had stumbled into the trap instead. His body still ached from the encounter. He sank onto the sofa next to Julian. Julian asked if he had made a decision. Alex was confused. Julian made his offer clear. $20,000 a month to be with him. Alex choked on the cigarette he was smoking. The offer was incredibly blunt, but $20,000 a month was life-changing. He tried to refuse. He stammered that he did not like men, but he really liked the money. He ended up kicking Julian out of his home. Julian was not offended. He took the half-smoked cigarette from Alex's hand. He gave Alex a business card. He told Alex to call when he changed his mind. After Julian left, Alex took a cold shower. He had strange dreams all night. He dreamed only of Julian. He woke up feeling sore all over again. The next morning at work was miserable. He stood waiting for the crosswalk light. He looked at the dead expressions around him. He related to the exhausted commuters. He finally got to his desk. A coworker immediately approached him. The man, Leo, showed him a video on his phone. It was a clip of Alex at the wedding. It showed him being beaten by security. Leo patted his shoulder with false sympathy. He said how unfair life was for men. Your girlfriend leaves you for a rich guy. Then you get beaten for being upset. His words dripped with sarcasm. He called other coworkers over to watch. He praised Alex for his bold stand. He called him a role model for cheated men. He then pointed to the bruise on Alex's cheek. He asked why Alex let them hit him. Alex's patience finally snapped. He punched Leo squarely in the face. Leo crashed onto his desk. He swore at Alex from the floor. Alex hit him again. He had been bottling up his anger. Leo's taunts were the final straw. He never hit women. He was glad Leo gave him an outlet. Other coworkers rushed to pull Alex away. Someone reminded him that Leo's uncle was the manager. Alex knew, but he did not care. He felt like he had nothing left to lose. If he got fired, he had another option. A $20,000 a month option. Within 2 hours, the manager appeared. He found a flimsy excuse to yell at Alex. He criticized a project report in front of everyone. Everyone knew it was just retaliation. The manager was defending his nephew. Alex tried to endure the verbal abuse. But then the manager insulted his mother. Alex's anger flared up again. He slammed his hands on his desk and stood. He dared the manager to repeat his words. The manager sneered and said it again. Alex grabbed the water glass from his desk. He threw it hard at the manager's head. The man dodged just in time. He looked genuinely frightened. He threatened to fire Alex. Alex walked towards him slowly. He said he had a problem. So hitting people did not feel wrong. The manager backed away, shouting, "You're fired. Get your things and get out." Alex smiled, feeling liberated. He said they could settle their personal issues now. He grabbed the manager to drag him away. Just then, a new person arrived. An assistant announced the new company owner. The manager froze, letting go of Alex. He explained the company had been acquired. The new owner was their new boss. A familiar voice echoed through the office. "You're fired." Alex's entire body tensed. It was him. The manager smiled, assuming the words were for Alex. He started to agree with his new boss. Julian interrupted him coldly. "I was talking to you." Julian walked past him and looked at the manager. "Pack your things and get out." The situation had reversed completely. Alex stared at Julian's profile. He had to admit it felt good. Felt damn good to be protected. Julian summoned Alex to his new office. He asked Alex if he was being bullied. Alex denied it, frowning. He said he was about to beat the man up. Julian smiled at that. He thought this company was not good enough for Alex. He patted the empty space next to him on the sofa. "Come here," he said. Alex hesitated for a moment. He felt like a kept man. But Julian had just defended him. He reluctantly sat down. He left a careful distance between them. "Come closer," Julian commanded. Alex shuffled a little nearer. Julian suddenly pushed him down on the sofa. Alex instinctively covered his mouth. He thought Julian was going to kiss him. But Julian just looked down at him. He asked Alex if he was avoiding him. Alex denied it. He asked if Alex was afraid of him. Alex said he was not. Julian's fingers gently brushed through his hair. Alex noticed the office curtains were drawn. This man seemed to love dark rooms. Julian asked him again, "Have you made your decision?" Before Alex could answer, Julian reminded him of his new position. "I am your boss now." Alex felt trapped and blurted out, "Are you threatening me?" Julian did not answer with words. The office was dim and quiet. His gaze was intense. They were too close. Alex could feel his warm breath. He felt a strange sense of panic. He tried to push Julian away, but Julian captured his wrist. His other hand cupped the back of Alex's head. The kiss was sudden and unexpected. Started gently, then became demanding. It was a complete invasion of his senses. Alex bit his lip in protest. Julian did not seem to mind. He only deepened the kiss. Alex closed his eyes and surrendered. He was not sure what he was feeling. Was it revenge against Isabella? Was it a desire for Julian's money? Or was it something else entirely? He did not understand his own heart. But in that moment he gave in. Julian was a decisive man. He moved Alex into his home immediately. It was a 4-story downtown villa, much larger than 500,000 square feet. It was Julian's personal residence. On the first night, Alex was nervous. He refused to go into the bedroom. Julian did not pressure him. He had the housekeeper prepare a large dinner. He opened 2 bottles of expensive wine. He asked Alex to have a drink with him. Alex agreed, hoping it would calm his nerves. But Julian's tolerance for alcohol was high. Alex was seeing double before long. Julian was still perfectly composed. He picked up a single peanut with his chopsticks. He looked at Alex and asked if he was ready. Alex slurred his words, asking what for. Julian smiled at his drunken state. He pulled Alex up from the table. "Time to go upstairs and sleep." He emphasized the last word. In the elevator, Julian leaned against him. The scent of sandalwood and wine was intoxicating. Alex felt his head spin even faster. The elevator doors opened. Alex helped the seemingly drunk Julian out. They stumbled into the master bedroom. The room was dark, as always. Julian refused to turn on the lights. As they lay on the bed, Alex felt bold. He asked Julian a personal question. Had he ever been with other men? Julian's answer was immediate and firm. No. In the darkness, his eyes seemed to shine. "Only with you." The words made Alex blush. He then asked about women. Julian said no to that as well. Alex found that hard to believe. Julian seemed to sense his disbelief. He told Alex he could check his history. There were no partners, no scandals. Alex asked him why. A man with Julian's looks and wealth. He could have anyone he wanted. Julian was silent for a moment. Then a lighter flickered in the dark. He said he never felt desire before. He had no physical reaction to anyone. He described it as a form of apathy. Alex swallowed hard and asked a question. "So you have a reaction to me?" "Yes." Alex took the cigarette from Julian. He tried to process this information. He pointed out their first time was different. Julian had been drugged. Julian lit another cigarette. The flame illuminated his handsome face. "But I was not drugged at your apartment." Alex thought back to that day. They had only talked in his small living room. He asked if Julian felt it even then. Yes. Julian's admission was shameless. Alex's face burned with embarrassment. He wanted to ask more questions, but Julian cut him off. He sounded impatient now. He said he did not want to talk anymore. He was done waiting. Alex yelped as Julian moved. He cursed his name. His protests were silenced once again. Office romances were forbidden at the company. But Alex and the boss had a secret. Over time, his own feelings changed. He heard young women gossiping about Julian. They praised his wealth and good looks. Alex would think to himself, he's mine. The thought was dangerous but persistent. After a month with Julian, he got an invitation. It was for a college reunion. He did not want to go, but his friend Mike accepted for him. Mike said Alex had everything now. Money, looks, and a great body. He told Alex to go and face them. Mike had also been their classmate. He dropped out after a fight in freshman year. He never liked Isabella. He warned Alex she was untrustworthy. At the time, Alex had not listened. He and Mike went to the reunion together. They saw Isabella as soon as they entered. She was surrounded by admirers. Her new husband stood beside her. Everyone knew her story. The long-lost daughter of a wealthy family, now married to another rich heir. She was the person everyone wanted to know. When Alex walked in, the room fell silent. A friend of Isabella's spoke first. He mentioned the wedding incident. He said Alex had embarrassed himself. He advised him to learn to let go. Another person chimed in. They praised Isabella and her husband's generosity. They said he was lucky not to be sued. Before Alex could speak, Mike exploded. He cursed at the group of sycophants. He called Isabella a two-timing cheat. He told them about her morning text to Alex. Isabella's face turned pale. She tugged on her husband Chad's arm. She claimed Mike and Alex were liars. She began to cry softly. She was a talented actress. Chad was completely fooled by her performance. He comforted her, then walked toward Alex. He asked if Alex was the one. Alex met his gaze calmly. Chad leaned in and sniffed at Alex. Then he asked the room a strange question. "Do you smell that?" Everyone played along, looking confused. Chad laughed and covered his nose. "It is the smell of a construction worker." The crowd erupted in laughter. Chad took out his wallet. He threw a CR card at Alex's chest. He offered to pay Alex back. Pay him for supporting Isabella in college. He asked how much a laborer could make. He said he would settle her debt. Alex stared at him with cold fury. Mike picked up the card from the floor. He scoffed at it. It was not even a premium black card. He guessed it had a few thousand on it. Chad sneered and said it was 100,000. He asked if that was enough. Mike laughed out loud. He said 100,000 was nothing. He accused Chad of being a cheapskate. He threw the card back in Chad's face. The reunion descended into chaos. The card hit Chad near his eye. He screamed obscenities at Mike. Alex finally snapped and attacked him. Chad was a weak, privileged man. He had no strength at all. 2 punches sent him to the floor. He could not even get up. Alex felt a grim satisfaction. He was stronger than Julian's partners. He and Mike tried to leave, but the hotel staff stopped them. They demanded payment for damages. Alex emptied his wallet on a table. It was a few $1,000s in cash. He asked if that was enough. The manager said no. He claimed they broke an antique vase. Mike pointed to the cheap, modern fragments. He asked if the manager was joking. Turned out Chad was a shareholder. The vase was not the issue. The shareholder had been beaten up. They were at a stalemate. Then Julian's voice came from the doorway. "Let them go." The hotel manager rushed to him. He was extremely respectful. It turned out Julian was the majority shareholder. Julian's presence made the room tense. Everyone assumed he was there for his sister. They thought he would defend her honor, until he walked over to Alex. His eyes scanned Alex's reddened knuckles. He took Alex's hand in his. He said he would hire bodyguards for Alex. He told him not to fight his own battles. Everyone stared at them, completely stunned. Alex quickly pulled his hand away. Julian turned to face Chad. Chad's arrogant demeanor vanished. He smiled obsequiously at Julian. He called him brother-in-law. Julian lit a cigarette offered by a bodyguard. He looked at Chad with disdain. If I had not come, you would have detained my person. My person. The two words electrified the room. All eyes were now on Alex, filled with shock and reassessment. Could not be the 200-pound Mike. Chad's jaw dropped. He quickly changed his tone. He apologized profusely to Alex. He said he did not know about their connection. He tried to claim they were all family. His apology was fake and pathetic. Alex ignored him and turned to leave. Isabella's voice called out from behind. Brother, what is your relationship with Alex? He is my ex-boyfriend. Are you making him your boyfriend now? She knew the answer. She was asking for everyone to hear. Alex looked at Julian. The man was calm, his hand on Alex's shoulder. Alex braced himself for the announcement. Lover, boyfriend, he would accept anything. Julian's voice was clear and serious. I am Alex's suitor. The crowd's perception of Alex shifted again. From scorn to speculation to utter shock. The heir to a great fortune was openly pursuing this man. He was willingly placing himself in a lower position. He was giving Alex all the respect. It was a masterful move, and Alex felt a wave of genuine emotion. People immediately changed their tune. They started talking to Alex with respect. They criticized the others for being unfair. They called them sycophants. They claimed they always knew Alex was a good guy. Alex knew it was all because of Julian. He felt tired of their hypocrisy. He grabbed Julian's sleeve and left. He called for Mike to follow. Outside, Julian got into his car. He left Alex and Mike to talk. Mike's hand trembled as he lit a cigarette. Dude, you and Julian? Alex's face felt hot, but he admitted it was true. Mike stared at him, speechless. Then he just said, damn. Alex worried Mike would judge him, but Mike just leaned in close. He asked quietly, does it hurt? Alex choked on his smoke and told him to get lost. Mike's face fell in mock disappointment. So you are the one on the bottom. He then asked if Julian had any friends. He wanted an introduction for himself. Alex playfully punched his soft stomach. Lose some weight first, he said. Mike laughed loudly. Alex felt a great sense of relief. His only true friend accepted him. He got into Julian's car. The air conditioning was cold. He reached to adjust it. Julian caught his wrist. He asked what they were talking about. He noted that Alex was smiling. He was asking about Mike. Julian was jealous of Mike. Alex found it amusing. He assured Julian Mike was just a friend. His only friend. And not his type. He playfully squeezed Julian's firm abdomen. Julian did not say anything, but the corner of his mouth tilted up. He was surprisingly easy to please, and too proud to admit it. Years passed and Julian took Alex home. Home to meet his parents. Alex was incredibly nervous. He knew the family was powerful. He wore a formal suit and brought expensive gifts. The parents were polite but distant. They were not warm but not hostile either. He could not read their true feelings. Dinner was a formal affair. The family's adopted daughter, Clara, was there. She was not related by blood, but she had lived with them for 20 years. She was gentle and kind. She helped keep the conversation flowing. The only problem was Isabella. She had come home specifically for this dinner. She spent the entire meal belittling Alex. She reminded everyone he was a poor student. She talked about his menial jobs. She knew the family valued status. She was trying to ruin their impression of him. Alex endured it all in silence. But Julian could not. He peeled a shrimp for Alex. Then he spoke, his voice calm. What she says is true. Alex did work many jobs in college. But she left out an important detail. He did it all to support her. Your precious daughter. The parents looked shocked. Julian continued. Alex was Isabella's boyfriend for 4 years. He worked like a dog for her. Then she married someone else without a word. We met at her wedding. Julian looked at Alex, then at his parents. He was straight before I met him. I bent him. He paused, letting his words sink in. You can disagree with our relationship, but I will give up my inheritance. I will leave with him, or I will stay and be a good son, but I will never love anyone else. I will die alone. His parents knew their son. They knew he was not making an empty threat. If he said he would die alone, he would. After a few moments, his mother sighed. She poured Alex a cup of tea. She said they approved. She confessed they had been worried for years. Julian was nearly 30 and had never dated. They had given up hope. They just wanted him to be happy. They did not care about gender or status. The atmosphere at the table relaxed. After dinner, Julian went to the restroom. Alex wandered into the back garden. He was taking pictures with his phone. He heard footsteps and turned, expecting Julian. It was Isabella. She smelled strongly of alcohol. She looked at him with red, tear-filled eyes. She asked if he was really with her brother. Then she stepped forward and hugged him. I regret everything, she whispered. Alex pushed her away, his face blank. Do not do this. I am your sister-in-law. Isabella froze for a second. Then she moved closer again. She told him he was lying to himself. She said he did not love men. He was only with Julian to be near her. She talked about their past together. She said she missed him terribly. She was annoying him. He fought the urge to kick her away. Just as he pushed her away again, the garden door opened. Julian and his parents stood there. The timing was perfect. It looked like Alex was caught. He pushed Isabella away in a panic. Isabella immediately slapped him. Her voice trembled with fake outrage. We are over. How could you do this to Julian? Alex almost laughed at her performance. He started to applaud slowly. He told her she should have studied acting. He walked to Julian and played a video. He had been recording the garden. He had not stopped the recording. Their entire conversation was captured. Isabella's face went completely white. Life with Julian was surprisingly harmonious. Mike lost 60 pounds, but Alex and Julian's love did not fade. Isabella, however, became a controversial figure. She used her family name to become an influencer. She leaked celebrity secrets online. She made many enemies. Her parents had to clean up her messes. After a year of fame, news broke. Isabella was getting a divorce. Her husband's family business had failed. They went bankrupt. Rumors spread that she was a victim of abuse. The internet celebrated her misfortune. No one knew who started the rumors. She had too many enemies to count. Alex felt she deserved it, but her story took a much darker turn. News broke that was truly terrifying. Alex asked Julian for confirmation. Julian lit a cigarette and sighed. Isabella had become jealous of Clara. She tricked Clara into a trip. They were kidnapped and taken to another country. His parents paid a ransom to get them back. If they had been any later, Clara would have been sold. But the investigation revealed a twisted plot. Isabella had hired the kidnappers. It was all an act. She wanted Clara to die over there. She included herself to avoid suspicion. At that moment, Alex understood her true nature. She was capable of pure evil. Her parents were finally done with her. Julian said she had their blood, but not their heart. They could forgive foolishness, but they could not forgive wickedness. They threw her out of the house. Alex took the cigarette from Julian. He thought about his own luck. He had escaped a terrible fate. He looked at Julian and smiled. He pushed the man onto the bed. Julian looked up, suddenly wary. "What are you doing?" "You," Alex whispered, licking his lips. "Let me try." "Get off." Julian found a sudden burst of strength. He flipped Alex over, taking control. Alex bit his lip, feigning innocence. "I was just kidding, brother." Too late. Julian was a man of action, not words. His pants were gone in an instant. "Julian." "Bro. That. Damn you." Alex and Julian planned a trip to Ireland. They were going to get married. The day before their flight, Julian worked late. Alex got hungry and went out for food. He was stopped just outside their building. It was Isabella. She looked haggard and disheveled. Her clothes were cheap, her hair a mess. She smelled strongly of alcohol. She asked him how he was doing. Alex took a drag from his cigarette. He told her he was doing great. She asked if he truly loved her brother. The question made him pause. At first, their relationship was complicated. But over time, it felt natural. They were together because they chose to be. It was about desire and affection. That was love, wasn't it? He realized his expression had softened. He was thinking about Julian. He looked up and saw Isabella's despair. She did not need his answer. She could see it on his face. Snowflakes began to fall from the winter sky. She reached for his hand. She begged him to stop lying to himself. She said she did not care about money anymore. She wanted them to get back together. They could have the life they always planned. A cute daughter, just like they discussed. Her voice was desperate and pleading, but his refusal was absolute. "How is that possible?" he asked. He told her very directly, "I do not like women anymore." Besides, he added, crushing his cigarette, "You are on your second marriage. Why would you want an unmarried guy like me?" Isabella was speechless, tears in her eyes. Alex walked past her toward the food truck. It was a place he had loved for years. Even with all his new wealth, he still loved their simple food. Julian, who never ate street food before, now joined him there often. He would wear casual clothes and drink beer. He fit right in. Alex ordered his usual favorites. Then he thought of Julian. He pulled out his phone and called him. "I am at the food truck. What do you want? Chicken wings? Beef skewers? Want a beer?" Julian was silent for a moment. Then his voice came, laced with a smile. "Yes, let's drink. I have wine at the office." Then he began to list his food order. Grilled oysters, grilled leeks, grilled kidneys. All notorious aphrodisiacs. The more Alex listened, the more his body ached.